Hello, listeners. This is Link, and you're listening to Lynk-On Media Podcast. Today we have Trey
What up?
and my old friend who actually ran away to the circus, Valerie. How you doing,
Hi,
guys?
doing good.
I'm good. Don't mind my voice. I'm just getting over a cold. So if I sound like a fuck boy, it's not on purpose, I promise.
Oh, really? That's how fuck boys sound in Toronto right now? Like
Yeah,
just
yeah. They,
yeah.
they, they sound like this, like, yo, girl, what you saying? Like, I'm trying to reach your house right now. So if you wanna like grab some grapples right now, I'm about it. Like they talk like that, but yeah, I'm not on that wave right now.
All right, how's it going over in Toronto right now? Is it freezing as it usually is? A is it like
Um,
minus 20s now? What is it? What's how cold is it now?
it's not too bad. Apparently, there's gonna be a snowstorm.
No, it's already happening, like where my area is anyway. Like
Really?
yeah, it's
There's
already
no snow. I was shoveling snow earlier because I couldn't drive up my driveway, but that's normal.
nah, there's a
Hmm.
snowstorm like literally outside right now. It looks like winter wonderland, like having an orgasm. It's kind of cool actually.
Wow, your voice is like so deep. It's so hilarious. But yeah, it in Orange County over here, the mountains that we see from our windows, it's like snowy. It's completely covered in snow. It's a bit melted now, but the weather it's been rainy, it's been way too snowy. It's
You guys
you
actually
know,
have
it's
snow up there?
yeah, we got snow. It hailed. We had
You,
hail storm. Like I
you
was
Oh
guys
at
yeah.
work.
you guys
I
must
was
be
at
shitting yourselves up there.
yeah, it's definitely not our usual thing. So
Well, Link, you've been prepared, so
yeah, it's normal for me. I mean, 3 years in Toronto, like I'm built for it now. I got layers on and everything. So we got a few things we wanted to talk about.
Hmm.
Um Trey, we didn't get to talk about the Flash trailer and all of these things that's going on with DC right now.
Yeah.
Um what's your views on it and what do you think where you think it's going to go? And Val, do you know anything about DC at all? No, I'm
uh,
playing.
a little bit. I saw the trailer flash.
Yeah, what do you think?
Eh.
Oh, that got me. That got me. Oh my God.
That's fair. I mean,
I mean,
I
like in all defense, like Val's not been like a DC fan like on purpose. So like
right.
introducing her to like the new like it's not like she's not like a DC fan because she doesn't like it. It's just because it's not her thing to go to. She's more of a Marvel person.
yeah.
But
Okay.
I don't know. I don't like the actor's face.
Which one?
who's
Ezra?
Uh, the actor, like the main actor for like the new movie Flash. I
like
don't know.
Ezra Miller,
like
right?
Ezra Miller,
Yeah,
the Flash who you're talking about?
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
like his face.
Well, I mean, nobody
You,
likes
no one likes
anything of
him.
Ezra Miller
Oh,
Wait,
fair
right
enough.
now.
do you know what's going on with Ezra Miller? I never asked you
I
that.
know there was some drama with it, but it didn't go further. And I know there's
Okay.
drama.
I don't think we could talk about it on your show, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna like bring it up, but I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
he's been doing some terrible things with his hands to people, and there's
With his
words that are thrown
hands.
around like grooming and young
Yeah.
person and all that sort of thing. It's wild. Like we've been
Yeah.
talking about it for quite a while, and it's just it's so wild. And now they're saying that he's going through rehab and he's trying to fix himself and stuff like that. And it's like you guys are trying to butter us up to make us go to see this movie.
Yeah.
So you
I
notice
mean,
how oh
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of worked because I saw that trailer and I was actually kind of hyped for some of the stuff I saw.
it's the best trail. It was the best trailer of the Super Bowl. Like it was the best.
Yeah.
I
They, they
mean,
they they definitely undermined it. Like when they put the first trailer out, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna see it. Then when they put this one out, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't hate Ezra Miller that much. maybe I'll see it.
I think it's more they just put Michael Keaton's Batman like right up in your face. Like the camera just swooped in and he was like, "Yeah, I'm Batman."
Yeah, I'm not gonna
And
lie, that sold me.
yeah, it's they Force Awakened us.
So,
So yeah, I know for a fact it didn't work for you. You weren't even around. You weren't even a baby when Michael Keaton was Batman. Where he was like 89. You were born what 2015?
what? What? I'm a 99. I didn't
2015.
exist. I didn't exist in 89. Is it
Right, right,
89?
right. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was
89.
89.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, 89.
89.
I didn't exist. If I existed 10 years later.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, like it was definitely before your time, but like the people who really grew up with it just saw that and was like, "Oh wow, it's Michael Keaton as Batman.
I
That's
even
pretty
grew up with
exciting."
that. I even grew up with that as a kid. Like I wasn't around when it came out, obviously, but like I
Yeah.
saw it like on Teletoon and stuff like that. Or like even like when my dad used to play it, like for no reason. And like that was my first introduction to Batman. And then the stupid thing was like obviously when you're a kid, you don't know why they change actors or whatever. So the
Yeah.
first question I asked my father was when they made George Clooney Batman was why is George Clooney's head a bobblehead? That was my first question as a kid when I saw him as Batman. And looking back at it now, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of happy that was not my first Batman. Like I'm sorry, but George
Yeah,
Clooney's
can you
not a good.
imagine if that was like the first Batman you ever saw, just the George Clooney one, and you're just like all this nipples and bat butt, like the
Uh,
rubber suits and all that.
that was mine.
That was yours?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
Well,
so
no wonder
sorry.
you're a Marvel fan.
I saw the nipples and I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
how I feel about this.
For me, it was like the enormous cod pieces that just sort of stuck out, and I was just like, what am I watching?
I don't know how I feel about laser cutters on screen.
What about the Bat credit card? The
Oh, Jesus,
famous
Jesus
Bat credit
Christ.
card.
So that
Love that.
I think it was my cousin who told me that that's a prostitute card, if anything. And I was like, I was like, you know what? That kind of makes sense.
Wait, explain.
So from what I know, in certain countries, I'm not gonna say because I don't want to get you canceled. They have a specific credit card that you can use to purchase like specific activities. So
Oh
that
my god.
I think you know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, hey, Batman is rich. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, if he dresses up like a bat to beat up people, I mean, he's into some real freaky stuff. I
listen. We
mean,
went into a whole deep dive about it, like I think like months ago, and we both got out of that podcast and we're just like, yeah, we should not admire this man. Like, he's not okay. He's not okay.
he's really not. I mean, that's what I liked about Michael Keaton's Batman. His Batman just felt unhinged. Like he just felt like he was really out there beating up people and just being like, "Yeah, tell him about me,
Yeah,
Batman." And then he ran off. Like, what is like? You see it as an adult, and you're like, "Wow,
you know what? That movie, just like for all intents and purposes, was ahead of its time. But you look at it now, it's like you could tell this Batman was sniffing snow before he went out to go fight crime.
oh
Like
yeah,
he was a different type of like. Do you remember when Jack Nicholson attacked him and his girlfriend at the time, and
yeah."
he just smashed the bottle and just screamed, "Let's get nuts! Let's get nuts!" And then I looked at the movie screen in my head. I'm thinking that's not Batman. That's an evil man. Like that, I'm not comfortable with this at all.
That man has problems. I mean, I was sort of watching that now as a like you look back at that movie. I love the movie, but it has flaws. Like it is,
Oh yeah.
it's not a great movie at all.
No, no,
I,
but
I
from
actually like. I thought Batman Returns was a better film because Michelle Pfeiffer was great as Catwoman, and I thought the relationship there was actually really good, and how he related to the Penguin, and how the Penguin is like this sick, it's the sick version to him, so he relates to the Penguin, but he not really because he's a mutant penguin fish guy,
yeah, yeah,
fish eating guy.
the penguin was actually kind of terrifying when you look at it for more than 5 seconds.
Good God, why were we watching that as a kid? Like I'm looking back at it, I'm like, what the What
Do
was
you
I
realize
into?
do you realize if that Penguin version was out now for children, like that would be boycotted to all living hell.
People would freak the hell out. That's why the new Penguin is just a guy.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that, but I don't want to get into that. But um, I think when we were talking about the Flash, when you saw the trailer, did you expect it to be that good?
uh, I think what surprised me was Supergirl, the version of
Yeah,
Supergirl. I thought she was fine. I was interested in it. I
yeah,
knew it was basically this was supposed to be well with that era of Warner Brothers, that regime, they were
yeah,
supposed to use this movie to replace Cavill and Affleck with girls. So they're basically following Marvel formula again,
yeah,
like idiots. But
yeah.
I did like what I saw with Supergirl. I kind of dug it. And it's not the Supergirl like Melissa Benoist.
My
She was
God.
just basically Clark Kent with a vagina. It's that's not exactly who Kara is. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
I actually prefer the Supergirl from Smallville, but that's a whole other thing.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of prefer in terms of writing. In
Wow.
terms of
Oh,
writing,
okay, okay.
and I thought the actress was pretty good. I thought she was fine. I didn't understand why they gave her Ezra Miller's haircut.
Okay, so okay. You know what? If I say it, I'm gonna get canceled. So let me just say the PG version. I think that the haircut looks fine for who she's gonna represent for certain people.
Right.
I don't mind you know what? Honestly, if I think about it for more than 5 seconds, if this was the same, I don't remember the actress's name. Do you know her name? So I don't like butcher it.
I can't remember her name, honestly.
Okay, either way, it doesn't matter. So if
Yeah.
she had long black hair, it would look very distracting. So I think that doing short hair is a smart choice. Um, but you
Actually,
know, if you think about it for
you
more than a couple seconds, yeah.
yeah, you may have a point. I mean, long hair, because there's going to be a lot of CGI work. Her name is Sasha Cale or Callie or something like that. It's
Sasha
C A
Cale.
L L
Yeah,
E.
yeah, okay, Sasha
Sasha
Cale.
Cale. She seems like a really nice person. Seems like a good actress. So I'm interested to see where they go with that. Um, I just and I understand why they give her the short hair now. I'm thinking because there's a lot of CG work when it comes to that. So it's probably easier than long hair. Like Wonder Woman just had those locks like flying about and it didn't look as convincing when they kind of switched her into CGI. So I understand it.
Can we point out the fact that they put two Ezra Millers, and I think they did that on purpose to forcibly say we're fine with what Ezra Miller's doing, so you're getting two of them for the price of one.
I mean that I think that was in the plan before. I don't think yeah,
No, that
I
would
think it was supposed to it was the plot before he did all the really bad stuff.
yeah, but
You know what I mean?
do you not find that semi-ironic though that after there it's kind of like Warner Brothers saying, well, now you have two of them. Now you have to watch two of them.
No, I think they made a decision and things went south and they're like, "Oh shit, what do we do?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to roll with it. We just sunk so much money into this. Like, what? We just have to go along with it."
You know what the funny thing is when we were watching Ant-Man and the trailers came out for the Flash
Yeah,
and Val didn't see it yet. So as we're
yeah.
watching it, she looks up, it's like, oh, it's the Flash trailer. So we're watching it, and then Michael Keaton comes on. And the reaction to this is so funny. I look at her and I go, that's Michael Keaton. And she goes, true. And nothing else. Just says that. That's it. And we continue watching it, and I say, what do you think? You want to watch it? And then she goes, maybe. Like there's no surprise, there's no excitement, nothing.
I think a lot of the DC movies I've seen hasn't been so exciting.
Right.
Like from like all the ones that I've watched, it hasn't been great. So I'm like, oh, it's another DC movie.
All
Eh.
right. So Well, your view kind of is representative of the young people now who are watching these movies, and you are completely off of DC. Like you're just sort of like on it.
I
And
think it also doesn't help that I know some like because of film stuff
yeah,
that like the editing, the storytelling, the character development, like all of that, like from all the previous movies that they've like brought out and like has been seen, it hasn't been really strong. The only thing that I think that was pretty strong for storytelling was Super Dogs, surprisingly, which is an
Oh
animated
my
film.
God. Yeah,
the
she's not
Super
lying.
Pets,
Or
Yeah,
Super
she's
Pets, sorry, Super Pets.
the Super Pet. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard good things about that actually.
for
I
some
honestly
reason we went in, like me and Trey went in there blind thinking that it's just an animated film. We're just
Yeah,
it's whatever. We didn't really think too much of it. The storytelling and like the characters, they all like brought out each like pet like into kind of like into the like universe, like
yeah,
DC universe. Like the dog, one of them represents like Superman, one represented Batman, and like they had all these different characters, and that somehow drew me in more
yeah.
because the development of it and the story pulled me in versus the other ones. Sometimes they would just drag the like climax, like the beginning of the story, and then right when it would climax of where like things should go wrong, it just goes boop, and then it's like that's it. There's
It just
there's, there's no more. We're at the end of the movie now. So
I
like
oh
that
Superman just saves the day and then just all right, let's go home, and then just
oh
leaves.
yeah,
well, that's
that
disappointing.
that movie made me laugh more than Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm not even gonna front. Like that, I look at Val at like certain parts of the movie, and I was actually like genuinely laughing.
Oh
Yeah.
I walked out of the theater, and I said, um, whatever Thor: Love and Thunder was dog shit compared to this movie. And I will say that, and I will say that with pride. I don't care. I like Super Pets better than Thor.
I find a lot of like animated films, they have an idea of also drawing in like the older audience, even though it's like a kids movie. They still put effort into putting some adult content in it to keep
mhm.
both viewers happy. So like recently, I know this is not DC, but we both recently saw Puss in Boots. The last something, I forgot the subtitle of it,
The
but
Last Wish.
The Last Wish.
Mhm.
And there's some content in there that I was not expecting for a kids movie because it says PG,
Yeah.
it's a PG film, but there's some very much adult content in there where I looked at Trey and I was like, are we watching a kids movie or are we watching an adult movie? I don't understand.
That's promising because that's what Shrek was very popular for, was that it would be these Disney-ish characters, but then they would slip in like a dirty joke in there, and if you're an adult, you're like, wait a minute, what was that, a masturbation joke? Was that a rude joke about this? Was that a, you know what I mean? So Shrek has been like the franchise. The best thing about that franchise is that like they can walk that line and not go over too well. So it's good to hear that Puss in Boots is that it continues that, because I
You
Yes.
know,
was sort of on the fence. Maybe I'll watch it now. Maybe I'll watch it now. I think you.
no, you would actually like it. But you know which movie like did that? Like very old movie that had the line but went over it too much was Cat in the Hat, like the live
Cat in the
action
Hat.
one.
Oh
Oh,
Yo,
I didn't
yeah,
watch it.
I
so
didn't.
that one went over the line so much that it was not even subtle. Like if you're a preteen to like an adult, you'll see everything. When you're a kid, you're ignorant to everything. But as you look
Right.
at it, you're like, how the hell was this greenlit to be shown to children? This
Right.
was this it was borderline like parody of Cat in the Hat, if you think about
Mm,
it.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of happy that Dr. Seuss, like after Cat in the Hat, the Dr. Seuss estate like really reined in their content. Kind of like what they did with Mario after, you know,
Oh
Super Mario. But
my God.
we'll definitely get to that. We'll definitely get to that because I got a lot to say about the Mario stuff. But for I think Val, you brought up a very interesting point that the movie that got you into DC is the one about their dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like the Crypto the Superdog is the movie that got you into the DC thing. And it's kind of weird because whenever DC tries to make this a unified universe, they fall on their face almost every time. There's like a few occasions where it actually works, but for the most part, it just kind of just falls apart, really. I think when you look at movies that are sort of their own thing, like Joker and what was that other one, the Batman and those
Yeah.
things.
The standalones I actually didn't have a problem with because
Right.
they actually put effort in and not try to put themselves, we have to connect all the pieces together like Marvel because we're running a little bit behind on like the fans. The fans somehow aren't liking our stuff, so we have to make it like Marvel so then we can draw them back in. But when they kind of are unique to themselves, that's where people like their stuff a lot more. So like the Joker movie, I really, really enjoyed. And the Batman, there's parts of it where I really did enjoy, and there's parts of it where it pulled me out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's some parts because of Robert Pattinson. I haven't seen his other films, so other than Twilight, and that was more than 10 years ago. There's
Right.
like moments where I see like there's some Twilight acting in there that I don't think fits Batman.
Link, do you want to hear the
Okay.
story? Do you want to hear the story of when I told Val that Robert Pattinson was going to play Batman?
Oh, please.
Okay, so I tell Val like, hey, I'm gonna go. I wanted to go see Batman, and she's like, oh, who's playing it? And I said Robert Patterson, and she goes, the Twilight guy, and I go, yeah, and she goes, and this is the most genuine funny reaction I ever got out of her. She goes, why? And I and I look at her. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I can't see it. Like I can't see a sparkling man be Batman. And I'm looking at her with her innocent look, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna disappoint you when you see it. And the funny thing
Mm.
is, like when we got to the theater, we watched it, and she was actually like surprised of like what certain pieces are. And then as we're talking about like good things, she has this side comment of, but I saw a bit of Twilight when he was brooding too much. And I looked and I thought about it for 5 seconds, and I went, oh shit, she's not lying.
Yeah, that probably ruined it for the whole because he broods throughout that entire film, and he doesn't brood like Michael Keaton could brood, like Christian Bale could brood. When you see Robert Patterson brood, it's just feels um
It's too much.
I'm you know I'm such a goth kid, and I'm in the darkness, and I'm Batman, and I'm listening to my my gothic music, and like I, I'm putting on black nail polish and stuff like that. It's not, it never feels like I'm Batman. I never felt the animalistic side of Batman. Like when I found out that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman back in, I believe it was 2015 or 14 or whatever, I was I was disappointed at first, but then I thought about it for like an hour, and then I thought, well, this isn't 2003 Ben Affleck.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
This is post, Argo, post The Town, director Ben Affleck. Like this is gray in the hair Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And also Ben Affleck actually had a basement that was a bat cave that opened up like a bat cave and all of that. So he knows his shit about Batman. So even Batman v Superman, a movie that I don't like, Ben Affleck is a proper Batman for me.
I would agree. Honestly, I think I would agree, but I still think that Robert Patterson has like a lot of potential. Like, um, we discussed this already, so I won't repeat myself, but I still think like he has a lot of potential to make this Bruce Wayne like better. Because to me, and this is an unpopular opinion, I did not like Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne or Batman. I just
Yeah, I
couldn't get
remember you,
behind
you
it.
saying that. I remember you
Yeah,
saying that.
I couldn't
I
get behind
disagree,
it.
but like I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. I get it.
If
Um,
Robert Pattinson doesn't breathe like Twilight when he was Edward so much, maybe
Oh, Jesus Christ.
it was just that one part in the scene. I think it's the hospital scene or something. There's one section where it was like a good like 10-minute scene of just him breathing and
yeah.
like frustrated. And I was like, that's a little too long. If it was cut down to 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, that's enough. But when they dragged it out for a little bit too long, I was like, okay, now you just remind me of Edward.
Was that the scene where he's visiting Alfred in the hospital?
Yes, I think so.
I think that's the worst part of the movie. Like
It was
it's
that
the
part. It was the Edward coming out. I was like,
that was his worst
Mm,
scene. Like that was I mean
no, no.
when he's in the cowl, it's fine. Like I think he works the suit. But when he's like trying to relate to Alfred, I think the film just flounders and just flops and explodes and stuff like that. Like it doesn't work. That Alfred relationship does not work.
What Val's describing as a Twilight moment, I felt that at the funeral scene where like he's interacting with like the future mayor and he's just like whispering every single one of his lines. I'm like, oh fuck's sake, just talk. Like I'm actually getting frustrated with the way he's speaking to public people. With Alfred, I could get. With Jim Gordon, I could get. But you're in public. You're not at a funeral. No, you're at a funeral home. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but you're not like you're not talking to people like they're criminals. Like talk to them like they're. You're not depressed.
Talk to
Like
him like a human being. Like if he
yeah,
talked to me like that, I would be like, "So, are you Batman or what?" Like, because he would just give it away. He would talk exactly as Batman as he would be without the mask. So it's like with all the previous Batmans, there's there's a different way you talk as Batman and as Bruce Wayne, and Robert Pattinson just doesn't even do it. He doesn't even try.
no, I think we talked about like what they could do in the next movie with it, but it's like it's whatever. But um when we were I think we were in a movie and I was looking at how he does detective work. I'm like, this is the most detective I've ever seen Batman do. Like
True, I loved
I
it.
I didn't like how I like the brutality of Batfleck. I like the equipment of Christian Bale, but I love the detective side of Patterson. Like
Yeah,
if
I
all
did
of
too.
those things were like combined into like basically I want an Arkham Knight version of Batman, I'd be happy, but I can't get everything I want because life sucks. So it's whatever.
I will
Man.
say that the like even like still every DC movie, I think it was the only time for the Batman that they changed up their mood color, like their tone in a movie because most of it's just been blue green. It's been their color palette, and
Yeah.
I like how they actually switched it up. We're just gonna throw some red in there for the first time.
Yeah. There was a
Yeah.
sunset. Like Batman's
Yeah.
around when the sun's up, you know? Like and I think the film looked beautiful. I think they used the volume, which is you know what it is. It's the LCD screen, the huge LCD screen where they shoot
Yes.
all this stuff in, like Mandalorian and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. And it's the best looking shots that I've seen with it than anything else I've ever seen. Like the
Yeah.
cinematographer knew how to use it so well.
Hmm.
Like there were scenes where it was completely fake and I couldn't tell. Like I couldn't tell. And like a lot of the Batmobile scenes, they shot that on the volume when they were up on the scaffolding when whenever he meets with Catwoman and stuff on the building, like that's completely volume stuff. And then when you compare that to the Marvel stuff, Marvel just kind of looks like a big cartoon. Like it really doesn't look as good. So I don't know. It's
You know,
but
you know what my friend said as he watched like the recent Ant-Man movie? He said that Ant-Man looks like Shark Boy and Lava Girl on steroids. And
yes,
he's not making, and I believe him.
Well,
absolutely, man.
to be fair, when we were watching it, Trey was like, I wish I was high watching this. I want to see all the trips. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna eat my popcorn here.
I think you would have it would have mellowed you out a little bit. Like
I was
all the
so stressed.
cringeworthy parts would have probably not have been as cringeworthy compared to you being sober. Watching it sober is pretty tough. But just to
Watching
finish
this,
up, but anyways, we'll get to it. Just to finish up the Flash, like what do you do you think this movie would be a train wreck? Do you think it would be good? I think there's some really cool sequences and fight scenes in here. They look fake as fuck. I mean, I'm gonna be really truthful, and it looks like they shot everything with like a 12 millimeter lens. Everything looks like a super wide, like if it was shot with a super wide lens on your iPhone. Everything just sort of looks like that. I don't know if I'm cool with it yet, but it looks interesting. It looks like something I haven't seen before. So I'm like, I think it might be cool. I think it might be cool to see.
you're not wrong. Like I have hopes for it, but I think it would have more of a backing if it wasn't being promoted by a piece of shit actor, and like it wasn't trying to be helped up by a seasoned well Batman and a badass looking Supergirl. If all of those were not in place, I think they'll be okay. But just from like observing this, I think it'll be okay, but I'm not on the edge of my seat to see if this is going to do good or not.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic, I think is the term. I like seeing Zod back. Um, so I'm okay with it. I think I'm okay with it. We'll see how it goes. So Val, you're gonna be just meh on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Trey's gonna drag you to it.
No, I'm not gonna drag her. Like honestly, like if I have to go see with my friends to see it, that's fine. But if I ask her and she's like, "No, I don't really want to see it," I'll understand why. Like this is the one thing I won't drag her to see.
Okay, fair enough. I think it'll be cool. I mean, I like Black Adam. So if it's
Yeah.
that good, and Black Adam is like a really dumb, really derivative comic book movie, but I think that did all the right stuff for me, even though it definitely killed any it killed, the return of Henry Cavill, which actually
Oh
it
my
didn't really,
God.
because James Gunn was hired like 6 months
After.
6 months before. Well, actually, no. It was he was hired to write a new
Oh,
Superman script before
oh
Black
yeah.
Adam was even a thing.
Yeah, he was. I forgot about that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember. Oh yeah. Did we talked about Black Adam on the last podcast, right?
I think we touched on it. I can't remember
Okay,
actually.
because I remember, I think I remember talking about it with you or somebody else that
Yeah,
I hated The Rock as Black Adam. I hated it. Like
fair.
I liked the story. I liked everything that they tried to execute with what DC is. But I'm watching Black Adam on screen, and I am not joking when I say it just reminded me of Luke Hobbs from Fast and Furious 5. Like
Or every single
every
every
single stupid movie this juiced up bitch has been in.
whoa,
And I
hey, man,
no,
hey, don't let him come over and try to kill me because like you called him a bitch. I don't think
no,
he's a
okay,
bitch.
okay, okay,
I think
okay.
he's a
I don't
bad actor, but I don't think he's a bitch.
I think he's been in so many movies where people don't tell him he needs to up the ante, so he just stays the same stoic character that just sounds like a badass that is Dwayne Johnson. He doesn't sound like Black Adam. Like
Yes.
I remember talking about this with my cousin who was with me
Yeah.
when I saw it, and I said, I hated watching him on screen saying the same stoic lines every 5 minutes. I don't care. Like,
Agreed. Like I was watching Red Notice the other day, and I'm just like, man, this is exactly what he did in the last movie. And I think he was in a jungle in that movie. You notice he's been in the jungle for like most of his movies.
he's in the jungle for 4 of his films in the past 6 years.
It's fast, yeah.
That's
A lot of it.
astonishing. You know what's crazier? He wears the same outfit in every single one. A tight shirt with cargo pants.
Damn. You know what? I'm gonna do a post where I'm gonna have like a bunch of pictures of The Rock in the jungle, and I'm gonna see if anybody could say which movie is he from in this.
I don't think I
I'm probably
can.
I don't think I
no.
can either. I really can't.
I can't. Okay, we talked about like when Black Adam was released, and this wasn't even on the podcast. I said to you that I want Black Adam to be an anti-hero,
Yeah.
and this okay. When I saw the first like 5 minutes of Black Adam, I'm like, I'm already bored out of my skull. Then I got to the action. Okay, cool. We got to the storytelling. This is awful. Then we got to like the action parts. Okay, these are cool. But then he starts talking. Like, do you remember like when we were in school, and every time the teacher would start talking more than they needed to, I would just like put my head down, shut up, and not pay attention.
I just remember them putting on like a YouTube video and just calling it a day. But
I
sure, yeah.
just
I remember
I,
that.
I just remember looking over at both of you. You guys just passed out.
Well, I was high as fuck, so
When I was watching the whole thing, I'm thinking to myself that I'm not entertained at all. I liked Hawkman, even though the media destroyed the hell out of his character. I didn't
yeah, there was
mind.
a lot. There was a lot of Hawkman's backstory that they didn't even get to. Like he has such a fascinating backstory about how he's like reincarnated and all that sort of thing. They didn't even touch on it. Same thing with
No.
Doctor Fate. Like
Oh
Doctor
my God, he was
Fate's,
so nerfed in this. Oh my God.
yeah, they really didn't do a lot with him. They really, like, I was surprised. I was really surprised that they just they were very underwritten, like the characters. I
You
mean,
okay?
they were cool. I liked how they looked and everything, and the actors are fine. Like Pierce Brosnan did a great job as Doctor Fate. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't do the characters justice to me. I don't know.
Val, watch this. Link, what was the villain's name?
Satan Man.
That's not his name. That's the point I'm trying to get across. That's not his name. No one even knew who he was, what he was about. No one gave a shit.
I know who he was. I knew he was Jafar from the Aladdin live action remake. It's the exact same actor. The same thing happened to him. He
Oh
became a
my
big
God.
CGI thing that you had to fight in the end. Same shit. And I just thought it was funny, the whole Black Adam thing. So okay, so this hero who has to be freed, who has these magical powers with a lightning bolt on his chest, who is fighting, who has an argument with a black guy who falls out of a jet, and he's like he has the powers of an animal, quote unquote, and then you have a female who can control the weather, you know,
Mother
and then
Nature?
there's another guy who has a mask that moves his eyes, who's like kind of like Deadpool, but he grows, so it's like Deadpool and Ant-Man. You see where I'm going with this, right?
I
I
know where
didn't
you're
get to
going.
see it.
And then
Val
you
never.
have Dr. Fate. You have Dr. Fate who can who knows magic and can multiply himself. You
Yeah,
see
but
where I'm going with this, right?
he's more useless than a doorknob. Like why? Like why are
No,
you here?
what I'm getting at is it's completely derivative.
It is. When you say it out of context for someone like Val, they're already hearing this and they're just like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't know
Okay,
if I want to watch this movie then.
well, Hawkman is Black Panther. Uh Cyclone is Storm. The
Adam
What's
Smasher is
Adam
Deadpool.
Smasher? He's Deadpool and Ant-Man wrapped into one.
Yep.
The Satan guy, he's Jafar. Dwayne has a relationship with the little boy, just like the T-800 from Terminator.
Oh my
I
lord,
mean,
that is
I can
such
go
a
on.
good comparison.
I can go on. I can go on.
To
Who
be
else am I
fair,
missing?
Like, I didn't know how good of an analogy that was until you just said it.
Doctor Fate is Doctor Strange.
Oh my god, the Terminator reference is so good. Yo,
Trey,
what?
sorry. I'd rather see your cousin be the main actor.
Hmm?
I feel like John would do a better Black Adam,
Oh,
like
I said that.
acting wise.
I said that during the screening, and I looked at my cousin halfway through, and I was pissed off at what Dwayne Johnson was doing. And I looked at my cousin, and I said, "You would do better in this shit." And this is not even me exaggerating. My cousin's a good actor. So when I said like, and he has a dope Black Adam costume, and he's built as hell. So when I
Oh
said
yeah.
to him, yeah, when I said to him like, you would do better. And my cousin like. He has bias because he met The Rock at the event, which is a long story. I don't want to get into it, but long story short, he met The Rock at the Black Adam screening event,
Yeah.
and he has bias. He was like, "No, he was good." I'm like, "Dog, he was shit." Like that was
I I will say he did pretty well as The Rock playing Black
yes,
Adam.
The Rock. It's Dwayne Johnson cosplaying as Black Adam. That's all it was.
Yeah. And as for your
With
cousin John, James Gunn, if you're listening, you got a perfect Black Adam here.
You got a perfect Black
You
Adam
got a
or
perfect
not,
Black Adam. So hit us up.
or a better looking Aqualad. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, there
that's
you
true.
go. That's pretty good. I will also say, shoot, I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? We had a conversation in a previous podcast with my boys. We were comparing the wrestlers who are turned into actors. So you
Yeah,
got John Cena,
yeah,
The Rock, and Dave Bautista, and we all agreed that Dave Bautista is the guy that is
yes,
probably doing the best right now in terms of the craft. In terms of the craft, the thing about The Rock is that he is trying to build a brand. He's trying to build like his tequila brand. He's trying to build like whatever stuff that he's invested in. That's
yeah,
his main goal. The story isn't. It's basically his brand. That's it.
yeah, yeah. I don't mind. I respect the Rock as like as a wrestler and like as a businessman. I will
Yeah.
never deny him what he is, but when I see him on screen every 5 months, I get pissed off because now I'm just like, I don't want to see the movie because I know what this is gonna be. It's gonna be the same stoic jabroni beaten, one catch liners, non-funny shit with muscle jokes, and I don't care.
See, I
And
didn't mind him as Maui.
oh my god.
Maui. Oh, from well, that's because he
Moana.
played a Moana. Yeah. I think that's because he doesn't play a character who has like a bull tattoo on his arm. Like it's a completely different guy.
Yeah.
So you're into the Disney stuff, right? Like you like the
Yes, as there's a Stitch behind me.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, there's a Stitch and a Lilo right behind me.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So how do you feel? How do you feel about there being like a live action Lilo and Stitch movie?
No. No. Like what they did to Mulan? No.
Oh, let's get into this. I haven't seen that movie.
I saw it.
I
I did
just
not watch
felt
it. I
like
did
I
not
mean,
watch it because Mulan and Lilo and Stitch are my two childhood animated films that I grew up watching on VHS.
yeah.
Surprisingly, we had VHS. I'm not that young.
Oh
I
my
had
god, I
it
wasn't gonna.
Oh my god.
because Link is going to be like, "Were you even born yet?"
I wasn't gonna say that. Come on now. Come on now. You know what a Walkman is, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Anyways,
fuck
moving
off,
on.
Link.
Moving on. But yeah, we had I like back in the days when Disney would have like the big cases, the big plastic cases, and then you'd open it and it'd be like these big white cassette tapes or whatever color. It was white, right?
It
Yeah, it
was
was
white.
white.
It was white.
Yeah.
Because I had to. I remember. I think I pressed the wrong button, and I pulled the VHS out, and I pulled the film out a little too much. I was like, oh shoot, and I had to like use it
And yeah,
like my
sprue it, yeah.
finger. I was small, so I was a child, so I had to like
Yeah.
wind it back up again, or I would watch my parents try to find something to try to wind it back up, so then we can put it back in, and then hit rewind, and then watch the part that we missed out on.
That's adorable. I remember I used to like if the tape busts, like I would try to open it, stick it with scotch tape, and then keep it going. Keep the party going, man.
And see, Val did it the smart way. You did it the ghetto way. There's a difference with both your stories.
Hey, it busts. Like it didn't just come out. It bursts. Like that
Yeah,
shit was
Yeah, but did you do the black thing where like you put it in and then it didn't work again and then you just went, fuck it, it is what it is. I'll watch how it is.
well, yeah. I mean, what
No,
else were we
I
gonna
did the smack to see if the TV or the VHS is just being silly, and then usually after a couple smacks it works again. And you just
Oh, you're talking about like the tracking? Like when
Yeah.
it just looks all snowy and shit? Man,
Yep.
I used to hate that shit. I used to hate that.
I would smack it and I'd be like, I need it to work.
Yeah. But I purposefully avoided Mulan because I know if I watched it, I'd be angry because Mulan is one of the top tier like animated Disney films, and the fact that they ruined it. And I heard what they did like the Mary Sue thing where they gave her like superpowers and like have her flying and shit and kicking
That's
arrows
like-
into people.
God.
That's like every Chinese film.
When
Which
Well,
like
yeah.
any like anything that has like martial arts, but they want to like emphasize it, make it more dramatic because I grew up on watching Chinese films, that they will make them fly. Everything is all harness work. They're just like, oh look, one kick, they're like just flying across the universe.
Yeah, but that's
And
fine if it's like John Woo or Jet Li or something like that. But this is Mulan we're talking about. Like,
And there's
why?
a lot of
we can't
sorry.
we can't do that comparison. Like we're talking about a Chinese woman talking to a midget dragon. Like we can't do that comparison. Come on.
No, but then also because a lot of the film was filmed in China, a lot
Yeah.
of the like Chinese media and stuff like that, and like their policies and stuff, and like the government, they want it to tell a certain way to make China more heroic.
Oh
So then
Right,
they
yeah.
also have
God.
their input of it. So then like as a Westerner, like from like North America watching over, it seems like very not true to the story. But then for people in China, they actually don't even like the film.
Really?
No.
So China didn't even
No, China,
like dig
from
it
what
at all.
from what Val told me, China hated it.
Yeah, because they're
Wow.
like, it doesn't show, it's so westernized and like this is not us. And then here it's like, why is
Wow.
it like this? Why is there no singing? And there's like there is no singing in the original story.
Link,
So there's
I
this like weird, like no one likes it, basically.
No one likes it at all.
Link, I watched that when I was drunk, and that was the only enjoyable thing about it.
My mom watches, she's like, don't bother watching, it's fine.
Yeah.
Keep your happiness of your animated film.
Keep your happy memories. Yeah.
Yes.
Like
I told
keep them.
I told Val my review on it, and she did not want to hear it. She was like, I don't want to know it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it, smell it, nothing. Like, keep your review to yourself. I don't care. I'm not watching it.
Nope. I'd rather keep the animated film in my brain.
Yeah.
So if they make a live action Lilo and Stitch, she's not going to go anywhere near that.
Nope.
Agreed. Because they're gonna baby Yoda the hell out of that.
Oh my
There's
God.
gonna be-
I just realized
There's gonna be
that.
plush. There's gonna be plush everywhere of the CGI monstrosity of what they're gonna do with
Because they're gonna
with
make
Stitch.
they're gonna make him like textured, like how Angry Bird and like Sonic
Bad
and
Sonic.
like Bad Sonic and what was the other I know Angry Bird, Sonic, and there's like another film that also is like animal like
Yeah.
themed but has fur. I don't
Space
want to
Jam
see
2.
or Space Jam 2.
Jam 2.
I don't want to see this guy with like
real
textured,
fuzz.
real fuzz.
Yeah.
I like his little, as you can see, his little like
Mohawk.
little hair over here, little mohawk, and then that's the most fur I want to see.
I'm not with it, man. I enjoyed Stitch back in the day. I can't support these anymore.
Like,
no, and I don't know what they're
do?
gonna do with Lilo. Lilo's not gonna look like Lilo.
I was just gonna get to that. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna make Jenna Ortega Lilo.
Yes, they will. I'm sure they will.
I know they're gonna.
It's gonna happen.
Not my Lilo.
No, I know they're gonna do that because like Jenna Ortega is so disgustingly like sexualized now that they're trying to make her into a child for Lilo.
Whoa.
Of how popular it is. And you know, what's her big sister's name again?
I can't remember. Her name.
Wait,
it's one syllable. It's one syllable. It's flying over my head, okay?
Okay, whatever her name is, forgettable big booty sister. She
I was just about to bring that up, but we'll get to it. Yeah.
She needs to be played by Megan Thee Stallion.
No,
we don't need to see twerking in Lilo and Stitch. No, thank you.
Thank you.
No, you might as well make it worse. If you're gonna make a live action Lilo and Stitch, you might as well just put it in the garbage and add like Miss Twerkaholic to it, please.
No.
You're not gonna watch it, so who cares?
Yeah, you're gonna avoid it, and I'm gonna avoid it.
Yeah, you're not gonna watch it, so who cares?
They might get what's her name? The girl from Transformers 5 who was shit.
Oh my god, I know what you're gonna say.
Dora the Explorer, yeah.
Oh my
They're gonna get
her. She's disgusting.
I like her as an actress. I like that actress.
She's terrible. She's terrible.
I mean, she has the best performance in any Transformers movie. Let that sink in.
Oh, you're disrespecting Shia LaBeouf right now.
I am disrespecting Shia LaBeouf. She's better than him. Shia LaBeouf is just screaming throughout that whole thing. He's much better.
Shia LaBeouf makes the human characters funny. Like if you didn't have Shia LaBeouf, like are you really gonna tell me like you prefer Mark Wahlberg over Shia LaBeouf?
Hold on, let me think about this.
I swear to God,
I would say the first. No, I would prefer Shia actually. Yeah.
Thank you. Common sense.
But after the second one, I think Shia LaBeouf's character ran his course. Like he should have been out of there after the first one. Like to me, him and Megan, I think they should have just replaced them every movie.
Let me put this in order so that it makes sense as far as like acting performances. I would put Transformers 3, Transformers 1, and then number 2. Because Transformers 3, he was great. I don't care. That movie was at the best out of the trilogy. I'm not saying that
Transformers 2?
What?
Was the best?
No, I said Transformers 3.
Oh, Transformers 3. Okay.
Yeah, Transformers 3 was the best. Transformers 2 was trash.
Yeah, 2 was trash.
I don't remember. I think I watched I know I watched 1.
Yeah.
I don't remember the storyline. And then I think I watched 2.
Do you want to hear Val's description on how she watches Transformers?
Yeah, tell me.
So Val tells me one day on a date, and then we're discovering Transformers, and she goes, "I don't remember. All I remember is cars exploding and places go boom."
Yeah, that's the franchise in a nutshell. That is definitely the franchise in a nutshell. I would say the only way I can keep track of them is that I know the second one they blew up Egypt. The first one they blew up a street in LA and the Hoover Dam. I think they blew up Hoover Dam. The third one they blew up Chicago.
No, they didn't blow up Chicago. They did a whole genocide on Chicago.
Well, yeah. Oh my God. Like talk about like guns in Chicago, boy. Decepticons.
Characters I remember is Bumblebee and Optimus Prime.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
Yeah,
the only thing I
that's all the
remember.
characters you need to care about.
That's the only characters with speaking lines that spoke more than 2 lines in the movie.
And
Listeners,
the
okay.
awkward, and then me as a child watching Megan trying to fix the car, like, oh, let me just fix the car. And then Shai's just like,
Listeners, Link is not gonna remember this, but during
Yeah,
college, he described Sam as this is what he described Sam as. He's a character with a chocolate dick because there's no way in real life he'd be getting these many hot bitches on screen.
that's what I'm saying.
That's the best description I've ever heard. A man with a chocolate dick. That is perfect.
Yeah, and like a chocolate dick with a strawberry tip, like for real. Because okay, so he got Megan Fox, right?
Yeah.
They didn't work out because
No.
obvious reasons. And then you pick up freaking Rosie Huntington Wheatley, I can't remember her name.
Wheatley, I think that's her name.
Yeah, but the point is, you went from Megan Fox to a Victoria's Secret model.
Yes.
Michael Bay, like,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
the realism in these
Fuck.
movies.
We're fucking talking about him now? Fuck. Fuck, man.
Yeah, but anyways, well, since we're off of Lilo and Stitch, I don't think any of us are gonna watch it. We're deep into the Transformers now. There's the new one that's coming out. What are we thinking of the Transformers? For me, I think the Transformers as a film franchise is waning. I think the heat of it has gone. Say what you will about Michael Bay, I sure have said many things against Michael Bay's Transformers movies, but he made Transformers a household name. Like, he definitely took it and made it into this franchise. He did it.
Yes, he did. I will agree with that. Yes.
When you compare the special effects in a Transformers movie back in the knots compared to anything that Marvel's putting out yesterday, there is you can say what you want about Michael Bay. Michael Bay actually cares about having like really good special effects. Like, the man is like, attention to detail is unparalleled. He's up there with James Cameron and Lucas and all of these guys. You can't say that. You can't say anything but that. As a storyteller, no, he's terrible. But as a visual artist,
he can make the fuck out of an action movie. He's great.
I didn't know that there's another Transformers film coming out.
I didn't bother telling you because I knew you were not going to watch it. So it's fine.
Yeah, you won't care. You really won't.
I don't even care. Like, I don't want to fucking watch it.
Like, I feel like they're doing Beast Wars, and I'm kind of interested in where they're.
No, I don't care.
They're Beast Wars.
It's a freaking Beast War. Like, it was good as a cartoon. I don't care. Like, I don't. You know what they're gonna do? You know what they're gonna do for a gag? And I promise you, what's gonna happen. They're gonna make a gag where a Transformer is a giraffe, just for a stupid reason, and it's a crane. I don't know what. I just know what's gonna happen.
Well, so the director said that he was going to base this new Transformers on black and brown culture. Well, what say you, Trey? Since you're like black and stuff, what do you think? Does that appeal to you? Do you feel seen? Like, do you feel like you
like, fuck you? Listen. Okay, listen. I don't care how many directors say they're gonna appeal to something. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, if I see a trailer and I can see, okay, me and Link have this rule. If there's too many action scenes in the trailer, it's gonna be shit. If there's like only a piece of action here and there, it's gonna be okay. But the amount of shit I see in just like, okay, first of all, this pissed me off. The kid walking out of the car as the Transformer is transforming and he just walks like nothing's happening, that pisses me off.
Like real gingerly too. Like, he's like, yeah, my car can walk around. Yeah.
He just walked out like he just got his dick sucked for the first time. Like, I don't need to see this. Like, this is not gonna help me sell it.
So what you're saying is that the kid is walking the car, like, if it's on a.
Oh, no. So here's the sequence. The car is driving, right?
Right.
The kid opens the door.
Mm-hmm.
He walks out as the car's still driving. Transforms, and then the Transformer walks along with the kid straight ahead. Just like a sequence. That's how the sequence was. Just drive, out, walk with the robot. It looks like the biggest like Wall Street douchebag thing that a Wall Street person would do if they had a Transformer pet.
So
Come on,
basically,
he's got a little bit of swag to it, man. Like
Link,
so
Link,
basically
Link,
every
I
like
will wring your
dramatic.
neck through the microphone, dude. I swear to God. Please tell me that you actually enjoyed that film enjoyed that clip. Please tell me.
yeah, I kind of like the trailer, to be honest. Like real talk,
Really?
I thought it was okay. I don't think the movie's gonna be good,
Okay.
but I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm definitely at this point looking for something else to look for. Like there's nothing for me to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, I want to see the Flash, but I'm not really like, is it gonna be good? I don't know. DC's been crap for a long time, so like, I might like it, but I won't love it. Like I don't expect to love any of these new things that are coming out. I mean, Indy 5 is coming out. I don't think I'll like an action scene in it, but I won't like be into the story or anything like that because I just feel like these franchises are just so old now. Like they're so stale. And with Transformers, I mean, I'm just happy that there no robot is humping Megan Fox's leg in it.
Wait,
There's
what?
no
Oh, I forgot. Oh my God, I
yeah, you
forgot.
What?
yeah,
I forgot about that. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Wait,
Like
No, no,
there's
no.
no
Okay. My dearest love, let me explain what happened in this clip. So, a mini robot that transforms into a remote control car changes size from Decepticons to Autobots, and I am not making this up. Pledges his allegiance to Megan Fox, and then proceeds to hump her leg and say my name, say my name, say my name. I am not making this up.
was she okay with that?
This was money. This is Megan
yeah.
Fox. This was okay. Link is gonna remember this and laugh his head off.
I mean, the robot didn't even ask for consent, so
No,
it's
no. But this is the best part of the whole entire movie. At the beginning of the movie, Sam is in a lecture hall. This teacher, played by Dwight Schrute, is, I know that's not his name. I'm just calling him Dwight.
Dwight.
He
Yeah,
he proceeds to seduce the four front students in front of his class. And this is the procedure. He's given a lecture. He bites an apple. He tosses it to one of the students, and the student catches it and goes seductively, "Thank you." I
what did he
am not.
say? What did he say though? Do you remember his line?
Yes. Hold that for me.
No. He says this, and I'm gonna be real. He goes up and he's like, finish that for me. Val's
That.
face, Val's face is incredible. Like
I don't like
if you were seeing her face, the cringe on her face, and that's my problem with Michael Bay's humor. Like, he gets a little like I don't think he's like a sexist or a racist, but his
No,
humor is really not
it's
okay.
awful. It's not okay, and he's borderline psychotic for what he tries to portray with some of the jokes. It's really bad.
Remember in the first movie where one of the characters was a Spanish speaking guy. He's the guy from Prison Break. And then he would always talk in his first language, which is Spanish, but he would never talk to anybody in English. And then everybody's like, well, I mean, English. Why don't you just talk in English?
Which
And
in the
it's
first
like
movie?
in the first movie, yeah. The movie opens. That's how the movie opens.
Oh, oh my God! On the plane.
Yeah, and everybody's like just speaking English.
Just speak English, like,
Now,
and then
I
he
know
goes,
Spanish people. I know Spanish people. If Spanish people know English and you know English, they would talk to you in English.
Yeah.
yeah,
So I don't understand why that's a joke.
no,
Where
no,
the
no.
joke? I don't get why that is funny, but it's just an
Ty
ongoing thing.
Tyrese was the funniest character in that whole movie. I'm gonna be straight up. He was.
Yeah, left cheek, left cheek, left cheek.
And I remember like during the raid scene where he's just like, man, I don't know, man. If you see this, that was the
Seen this
blackest
shit?
moment I've ever seen out of a character in a movie. Like that's the thing a black person would say.
Yeah, Tyrese was good in those movies. I'll give him that. I'll definitely give him that. So yeah, I mean, I know they're bad, but it's a guilty pleasure for me, those goddamn Transformers movie. And the fact that Michael Bay isn't there anymore and then like a new guy's coming in, and I just feel it's gonna be just another bland thing. Like it's
You know
just
what?
gonna be a franchise.
You know what I think this is gonna be? This is gonna be like dating a toxic girlfriend and breaking up with her and dating her sister. That's what I think it's gonna be, honestly. Like
Like her
nothing.
the blander sister.
It's like you went from a Rebecca to a Karen. Like that's the transition he went through. Nothing's gonna be different. It's just gonna be more bland and less head. That's it.
Wow, Trey, man, you're colorful metaphors there.
Yeah, I
But
know.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's gonna be another Transformers. I'm not gonna see it opening day. I might watch it just to make a video on it, but it's whatever. Peter Cullen is in it. As long as he's Optimus Prime, I'm there. Ron
Okay.
Perlman's gonna be Optimus Primal, so that could be cool. Pete Davidson is Mirage, the Transformer. That
Excuse
the
me?
Yes, Pete Davidson.
I'm not gonna watch it now. Fuck this. I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't know how that man can be so. I don't know. He's like just somehow just enjoying life, but somehow famous.
Man, I just love that he just smashes all your crushes. Like any guy who has a crush, he's like, yeah, been there.
Yeah,
He's the Sam Wiki of Hollywood. No, because like it
For
doesn't
real.
make sense. It does not make sense.
You
How
got that
you know?
chocolate dick.
Nah, he has to have like something like vanilla whipped ice cream dick or some shit. Because
Yeah.
nothing about this man is entertaining.
Look.
Nothing.
He he's tall. Okay. That does it. That does it for like I've had lots of conversations with women, and sometimes just being tall, funny, and has a car, you would crush.
He
You just need
looks
those
like
three things.
he looks like he's related to the Wendy's logo. How is he attractive?
Hey
I don't
man,
know.
he's tall. Aren't you listening to me?
Oh,
But
but
tall
so
doesn't.
is like an ice cap at Starbucks. That's tall too, but I don't have to get it every time.
That's
Anyways,
okay.
so that's it on Transformers. Trey's definitely going to see it now because his boy Pete Davidson's in it.
Fuck you.